Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we are playing Grand Theft Auto Online and we are going to be counting down the 10 best weaponized vehicles currently available in December 2021. As you likely know, in GTA Online these days, if your vehicle can't deal out damage and withstand some, you are likely just going to get blown up every moment you leave your properties. And if you don't have people to play with, you need a vehicle that can fire weapons while driving. This list is intended to show you the 10 that I have found to be the best in the game, in the order from worst to best. Now, none of these are bad, but the top couple are definitely a lot better than the rest. So let's dive on in and get counting these vehicles down. Number 10, the Pfister Comet Safari. Is there nothing the Pfister Comet cannot do? If you were a venture capitalist looking for the shortest route to your next midlife crisis, the Comet was your first and only choice. If you wanted something that preserved the classic reek of desperation but added a street racer twist, the Retro Custom was top of the list. And now if you're looking for something to slam around a hairpin bend in 3 feet of uphill mud, the Comet Safari has got you covered. Please note, weapon modifications can only be applied at a vehicle workshop inside an Avenger or mobile operations center. The Comet Safari can be purchased in GTA Online from Legendary Motorsport for a price of $710,000. The design of the Pfister Comet Safari is based on the real-life Porsche 911 930 Group B. The Comet Safari has 2 seats, weighs 1,150 kilograms, is all-wheel drive, has 5 gears, it has a top speed of 120 miles per hour or 193.12 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 81.56, an acceleration stat of 73.13, a braking stat of 26.67, and a handling stat of 63.64, giving it an overall average rating of 61.25. This car is a great place to start and has a lot to like about it. For one thing, it is pretty fast and it is remarkably well suited for pretty much all types of terrain. When upgraded, it does have dual-mounted machine guns, but unfortunately no rockets. In addition to its decent top speed, it also has a pretty top-tier acceleration, making it good for cross-map trips, as well as avoiding enemies, its biggest weakness being braking. Number 9, the Dubosh JB700W. Grease up the drive shaft because this hot number has curves in all the right places. A classic luxury grand tourer, the JB700W has been the car of choice for drunken misogynistic British spies since 1965. Dust off the tuxedo, quip a sexual double entendre, pour yourself a martini for the road, and stumble out as everyone in the room mutters, "What a turd you are." Note, the vehicle's classic concealed weapons can be recommissioned for recreational use at LS Custom. The JB700W can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $1,470,000. The design of the Dubosh JB700W is based on the real-life Aston Martin DB5. The JB700W has 2 seats, weighs 1,600 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. It has a top speed of 119.25 miles per hour or 191.91 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 80.48, an acceleration stat of 65, a braking stat of 20, and a handling stat of 65.15, giving it an overall average rating of 57.66. This car is very cool. It is obviously based on the classic modded cars used by James Bond in the classic Sean Connery movies, and as such can be equipped with front-facing dual-mounted machine guns as well as defensive countermeasures like an oil slick or caltrops. So as far as weapons go, this one is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, its stats do suffer. It has a decent top speed, but rather sluggish acceleration. The braking is also pretty bad, and handling isn't very high. So if you want to use this one effectively, you better learn how to drift. Number 8, the Lampadi Viseris. There were a lot of things to like about Lampadati Viseris: the smooth handling, the chiseled good looks, the salt of the earth engineering. More than anything else, you had to love the unmistakable roar of its barbaric V8. But if you thought that sweet song couldn't be improved, you were wrong. Offset by the rattle of twin forward-facing machine guns, it takes a whole new depth of character. Please note, weapon modifications can only be applied at a vehicle workshop inside an Avenger or mobile operations center. The Viseris can be purchased in GTA Online from Legendary Motorsport for a price of $875,000. The design of the Lampadati Viseris is based on the real-life De Tomaso Pantera GT5, Maserati Merrick, and the BMW M1. The Viseris has 2 seats, weighs 1,400 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. It has a top speed of 124.25 miles per hour or 199.96 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 83.43, an acceleration stat of 75, a braking stat of 26.67, and a handling stat of 69.7, giving it an overall average rating of 63.7. This good-looking car is pretty decent. The top speed is pretty good, and the acceleration isn't too bad either. The braking isn't bad, but it's an improvement over the last one. The handling is also better than the last. When upgraded, this vehicle can be equipped with front-facing machine guns. Again, unfortunately, no missiles, but still a pretty effective weaponized vehicle, and like I said, it looks pretty cool. Number 7, the Ubermacht Revolter. In your line of work, you demand flexibility. You need a car that can blend seamlessly into a line of executive saloons, but not look amiss when it arrives on the red carpet. It needs to look respectable dropping you off at court, threatening picking you up from Bolingbroke, and when the deal goes south, it needs room for a driver-operated machine gun upgrade. The Revolter can do all of that in first gear. Just wait till you see fifth. Please note, weapon modifications can only be applied at a vehicle workshop inside an Avenger or Mobile Operations Center. The Revolter can be purchased in GTA Online from Legendary Motorsport for a price of $1,610,000. The design of the Ubermacht Revolter is based on the real-life Cadillac Escalade concept and the Audi TT Mark III. The Revolter has 4 seats, weighs 2,600 kilograms, is all-wheel drive, and has 6 gears. It has a top speed of 115.5 miles per hour or 185.88 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 75.12, an acceleration stat of 87.5, a braking stat of 26.67, and a handling stat of 68.18, giving it an overall average rating of 64.37. This car is one that a lot of people sleep on, and I think that's a shame. It's a great squad car for team-based activities, it's decently fast, and handles very well. It also has a pretty dang good acceleration, and above-average braking for cars of this class. Plus, when upgraded, it has front-mounted machine guns, which makes it better than the armored Kuruma, in my opinion. Number 6, the Ocelot Stromberg. Can you swim, you ask, nonchalantly as you hurtle towards the end of the Vespucci Pier? A moment of airtime later, the cool waters of the Pacific are washing the pedestrian splatter from your windshield. The rudder and thrusters are engaged, and your pursuers are lost forever. You turn to the passenger seat where your once beautiful date is vomiting uncontrollably in abject terror. Yep, that's why you drive a Stromberg. Please note, weapon modifications can only be applied at the vehicle's workshop inside the Avenger or Mobile Operations Center. The Stromberg can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $3,185,350. The design of the Ocelot Stromberg is based on the real-life Maserati Bora. The Stromberg has 2 seats, weighs 1,300 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 6 gears. It has a top speed of 112.75 miles per hour or 181.45 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 80.48, an acceleration stat of 72.5, a braking stat of 33.33, a handling stat of 75.76, giving it an overall average rating of 65.52. The Stromberg is a submersible sports car with machine guns, missile launchers, and torpedo launchers after being upgraded. I like this car. The submersible feature is pretty gimmicky, but it's fun, and it is actually decent protection against griefers using the Oppressor Mk II, as their missiles can't reach you underwater. It also has pretty good handling, and it's fast, so it just makes it an overall good car. Number 5, the Ocelot Ardent. It's a rare car that allows you to be perfectly composed, effortlessly suave, and extraordinarily violent all at the same time. And yet, somehow the Ardent does all that and more. Behind the wheel of this masterpiece, there's nothing you can't do. Lose your pursuers, pop the dual machine guns, gun down the survivors, drop a pithy remark, open the champagne, have a quickie, drive into the sea, realize you've made a terrible mistake, and swiftly drown. The Ardent can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $1,150,000. The design of the Ocelot Arden is based on the real-life Lotus Esprit. The Ardent has 2 seats, weighs 1,200 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. It has a top speed of 117.75 miles per hour or 189.5 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 79.41, an acceleration stat of 71.25, a braking stat of 30, and a handling stat of 80.3, giving it an overall average rating of 65.24. This car comes with dual-mounted front-facing machine guns. It doesn't do anything else special, like fly or go underwater, but it is a really good car. It has a decent top speed with great acceleration and really good braking and handling. All of this makes it a great car. Number 4, the Declasse Scramjet. The Declasse Scramjet is final proof that the greatest inventions are accidents. No one thought we had any need to jolt a hyper-stylized retro speedster 30 feet into the air and turbo boost it into the side of the nearest high-rise, but once it happened and we saw the kind of potential it unleashed, there was no going back. This one's for the dreamers. The Scramjet can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $4,628,400. The design of the Declasse Scramjet is based on a car from the 1960s anime series Speed Racer. The Scramjet has 2 seats, weighs 1,600 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, has 6 gears, and it has a top speed of 137 miles per hour or 220.48 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 85.85, an acceleration stat of 100, a braking stat of 31.67, and a handling stat of 81.82, giving it an overall average rating of 74.83. This car has a lot of perks. For one thing, it comes with a jump option as well as a rocket booster that is great for avoiding attackers. On top of that, this car actually comes stock with rockets and machine guns, so there's no need to upgrade it. It also has a great top speed, perfect acceleration, above average braking, and really good handling. So this car is actually one of the best in the game overall, as well as being the third best weaponized vehicle. Number 3, the Pegassi Toreador. No land? No problem, with Pegassi's submersible, booster-fitted sports car, taking your life and all its problems out to sea has never been faster. Nothing is as therapeutic for the soul as the endless blue of the Pacific Ocean and firing off a few torpedoes at passers-by. The Toreador can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $3,660,000. The design of the Pegassi Toreador is based on the real-life Lamborghini Marzal. The Toreador has 4 seats, weighs 1,600 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. It has a top speed of 135.25 miles per hour or 217.66 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 80.48, an acceleration stat of 75, a braking stat of 33.33, and a handling stat of 74.24, giving it an overall average rating of 65.76. This car has rocket boosters, machine guns, and missiles/torpedoes. It is super fast, can seat 4 people, and comes fully weaponized. So yeah, it's pretty great. Number 2, the Pegassi Oppressor Mk II. The Oppressor Mk I was a landmark in hybrid vehicle design. Well, the Mk II takes off where its little brother landed, and it never comes down. This is about the closest you can get to throwing a saddle on a rocket engine, bolting on some optional heavy artillery, and pressing the big red button. Please note this vehicle can only be modified at the specialized workshop inside a Terrorbyte. The Oppressor Mk II can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $3,890,250. The design of the Pegassi Oppressor Mk II is based on a real-life BMW hoverbike concept. The Oppressor Mk II has 1 seat, weighs 220 kilograms, is rocket-driven, and has 1 gear. It has a top speed of 127.75 miles per hour or 205.59 kilometers per hour. This bike has a speed stat of 79.41, an acceleration stat of 95, a braking stat of 40, and a handling stat of 63.64, giving it an overall average rating of 69.51. This bike, despite being synonymous with griefing, is actually super good. It has the option of 3 main weapons, that being missiles, machine guns, and an explosive machine gun. It also flies, hovers over land and water, and has a rocket booster. The only downside of this vehicle, other than the stigma, is that you need to specifically upgrade it in the Terrorbyte. Number 1, the Imponte Deluxo. The future is here, and it has gull-wing doors. Never again must you choose between the drama of the open road and the majesty of flight. Never again will you feel that lurch of panic as you accidentally drive over a cliff. At the click of a button, you will soar over trees, mountains, sharks, and slack-jawed competition, and anything else that you choose. Please note this vehicle can be modified at a vehicle workshop inside an Avenger or mobile operations center. The Deluxo can be purchased in GTA Online from Warstock Cash and Carry for a price of $4,721,500. The design of the Imponte Deluxo is based on the real-life DeLorean DMC-12 from the Back to the Future movie, with the ability to fly and gull-wing doors. The Deluxo has 2 seats, weighs 1,600 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 4 gears. It has a top speed of 127.25 miles per hour or 204.79 kilometers per hour. This car has a speed stat of 75.12, an acceleration stat of 56.88, a braking stat of 23.33, and a handling stat of 62.12, giving it an overall average rating of 54.36. This car is fast, but not crazy fast. It handles pretty well despite below average braking, and the acceleration is pretty sluggish. So why is it number 1? Well, it has rockets and machine guns, can fly, drive, and hover on land and sea, and unlike the Oppressor, can take more than 1 rocket before exploding, and carries 2 people. It really is the best overall vehicle in the game, and therefore takes the number 1 spot here. But that's where we're going to end it for today. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, be sure to like the video, comment your favorite weaponized car, and subscribe to the channel. In any case, thanks for watching, and have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.